One Piece! Whoa! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is up? The king of lightning here today to do One Piece episode 677 review. Now, of course, the link to the episode is going to be on both One Piece Official and on Crunchyroll in the box below. Now, before I go any further, I gotta say this. The last time I did a One Piece episode review was around episode 672. So it's been, when you factor in New Year's and Christmas, when they took like a week or two off from doing episodes, that's about like 5 to 6 weeks pretty much. So thing here is, it's been some time, and I am going to talk about it in a video that I'm going to do after this video, but pretty much there has been a change in the format of how I'm going to do episode reviews of One Piece. In fact, to keep it simple, I'm going to do the same thing I do for Naruto Shippuden episodes. And that's pretty much me review episodes that I feel are good, that I feel are actually noteworthy. Or if there's a particular scene in an episode that I like, I will talk about that scene in particular. So, give my thoughts on that scene. And that's the way I'm going to do from now on, pertaining to One Piece episodes. The reasons why, I'll discuss in another video that's going to follow up this video, because if I talk about the reasons why in this video, guarantee over 20 minutes, easy. When honestly, it should be under 10. So, let me focus on this episode. This episode, the pacing, as usual, slow. As usual. The animation, as usual, extraordinarily meh. However, the reason why I decided to hop back on board this episode, and by the way, I'm going to deviate real quick. The preview for this episode 678, looks fantastic. They got the same animator that did the Ace thing and the Doflamingo versus Aokiji thing. Remember Ace in the Marineford War, through the smoke, Luffy, the fire and shit? Amazing scene. And then that guy also did a few scenes against with Flamingo versus Aokiji back in Punk Hazard. So, that's my dude. That's my fucking dude right there. Alright, this guy has to just stop whatever he's doing for any other anime and focus on One Piece, because you need this guy in your life. If this guy were to solely work on One Piece would be phenomenal on a regular basis. I guarantee you that. But getting back to the episode itself, this episode 677, this episode does have a very strong emotional impact. The previous episodes lacked it, and they also had atrocious pacing. Oh, the pacing. Oh my god, the pacing. But when you have Sugar finally defeated by the actions of Usopp, and he has that funny moment where he's on the ground, passed out, the Tontada are overblowing that shit. No, you died! No, Usoland! And Usopp's like, yeah, gone. The thing here is that it was funny, obviously, and then seeing the toys return back to their original forms, whether they were pirates, whether they were world nobles, well, no, not world nobles, whether they were royalty, like kings and queens, that kind of shit. Not like the, Tenryubito, not those insane fuckers. No. Whether they were government agents, whether they were citizens that talked bad against Doflamingo and his cohorts, whether it were just random giant beasts and shit. The entire country is now in uproar. And from a story progression standpoint, this is the biggest turning point thus far in the arc. You have the game entirely change. Flamingo was in power. He was controlling everything. He had everything on lock, and boom, Sugar's out. And all of a sudden, the citizens that were worshiping him an hour ago now raise their swords. Yeah, it's time to kill Flamingo. It's time to take him out. And I'm like, damn. Because to realize that you had a loved one for the majority of your life, and then you completely forgot about that person, and then to all of a sudden remember that person in an instant because the spell of the Habi no Mi wears off, the powers of the Habi no Mi. That to me was emotional. It was actually very impactful, and I did like that. More so than anything, it was the return of Kyros, and how Kyros just like, you have like the eyes of Rebecca, of Violet, of King Riku flare the fuck up, and you're like, oh shit, oh, this is crazy. Like the emotions going, there's like the flashbacks of where like he was erased, and then all of a sudden he's returning back like a flash of light, and he busting that shit like one leg, like fucking, I'm taking you, Flamingo. And you have King Riku, he's like, oh, Kyros, and he's like, yes, and I'm like, oh, that was cool. He's just in the air suspending shit, like, yeah, I'm coming for you, Flamingo. Flamingo's like, fucking, nutty, and then head. I'm like, oh, you see, that was good. Again, it was slow paced because, I mean, let's be real here. Kyros, when he was running towards Flamingo, like, hobble, hobble, hobble. I'm like, yo, like, we have, like, Violet. She has, like, a whole spiel and shit. I'm like, did this guy fucking reach Flamingo ready to get? Goddamn. He reached him like 3 times over before she damn finished. And finally, he's in the air and he cuts Flamingo's head off. Now, for the anime only cats, I'm not gonna say that Flamingo isn't, you know, I might say that he's dead, but he also isn't dead. I'm gonna leave it up to your inferences to guess as to whether or not Flamingo's actually dead or not. Would someone like Don Quixote, Doflamingo, Shichibukai, who could easily fight in the Marineford world without a damn scratch, who could take on Sir Crocodile easily, would someone like him be cut down by Kyros, the strongest gladiator in the costume history? Who knows? Who knows? Well, strongest I think is the best, or with the best record, yeah, for sure. The strongest, I mean, fucking Chinjao and Sabo, just saying. So, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the tides have turned in a very dramatic way. And even though, from a pacing standpoint, and unfortunately from an animation standpoint, it was meh at best, they did play the emotions very well. And story-wise, this is the biggest turning point in the Dressrosa arc, for sure. So that being said, overall rating, I thought was good. And I will see you guys and gals later. Again, there's going to be a follow-up video real soon talking about the details as to what's going to happen with the episodes and why I have changed my format for the episode reviews. So King of Lightning, rate the video, comment, subscribe. Have a nice one.